Silverstone Grand Prix in the Ginetta GT5. Heading over the start and finish line then towards Cops Corner. It's a very late break and typically down just one gear. Looking for the arrow board on the left hand side, down one. Send the car in, take a lot of the apex curb and let the car run out to the left hand side, being mindful of the track limits. Bring the car back to the right with a quick check in the mirror to check the pit lane exit. Fast entry to Maggotts and Beckett's. Flat out on the way in, keep on the gas, brake just off the curb. Through the right, let the car run all the way out to the left, brake down one gear, roll it through the left, straight out to the right towards Chapel, down one more gear, a lot of the curb and hard on the power to power the car down the hanger straight. Let the car run out to the right nice and gently, minimising steering input to avoid wheel scrub. Take a breather on the long hanger straight now, try and spot the marker board out on the left hand side, bringing the car to the left now. We're looking for the arrow board, we're way past that, onto the brakes, down one, down two, carry the speed in, look towards the apex, bring it in early, keep it at the apex before chasing the power on, and be mindful of those track limits once again on the exit. Bring the car back to the right now for the Vale, looking for the arrow board, hard onto the brakes, down to second gear, slow the car right down for the left, make sure you get good track positioning to open up this right hander before attacking full power through the right hander now and onto the pit straight past the wing complex. Being mindful of those track limits once again on the exit. That completes 3 parts of the circuit where they will monitor them. Heading down towards Abbey, it's just a lift in good dry conditions, so out of the throttle, roll the car through, back on the power. Let the car run all the way out to the left, it's easy flat through Farm. Bring the car out to the right before aiming back to the left and braking where the curb is. Down to second gear once again, roll the car into that apex, be patient. Full power, bring the car to the middle of the circuit, down to the apex. Get the car nice and tight, get a good exit. This takes us all the way down the back straight through this little kink on the left hand side, which is easy flat in wet or dry conditions. We're letting the car run all the way out to the right hand side. Once again onto the Wellington straight, take a breather, relax your hands, use a short brake to get a breather. Looking to the right now for the arrow marker just before it onto the brakes. When you come down to third gear, roll the car through on that diagonal line all the way over the apex curbs, attack it, let the car all the way out to the right, keep to the right. Braking down one gear, let the car roll out, tuck it back in and hard on the power nice and early to get good drive over the start finish line to start another lap. Again, now we're heading through Woodcock, easy flat and dry, marginal in the wet. We're going to take another look in slight more detail for a slower lap. So once again, heading over the start finish line, looking towards Cops Corner, we're looking for the arrow marker on the left hand side of the track, which gives us a good braking reference. Onto the brakes, potentially down one gear, roll the speed in, we take all the apex curb we can, letting the car run all the way out to the left but being mindful of the track limits. The black and white is fair game, anything more than that and we will start to pick up infringements. Bring the car back to the right, we need to make sure we line up the entry to Maggotts as soon as we can so we're straight on the way in on the gas. Onto the brakes, off the curb, off the brake, down one gear, send the car through, out to the left, brake, down one more gear, roll it through, full power, onto the brake, down one final gear to third, chase the power on over the curb and let the car run all the way out to the left hand side. Gradually let the car run out to the right on the hanger straight, heading down towards Stowe. Again, take a breather on the straight while you've got the opportunity to do so, check your mirrors, have a good look around you while looking for the marker board on the left hand side. We're going to be way past this marker board on the left hand side and on the brakes down to 2 gears, 1, 2. Carry the speed in nicely, be patient. Get the car to the apex and then hard on the gas. Be mindful of the track limits on the exit. This is the second part of the lap where they will be enforcing them. Looking at this video from Gordy, that's probably just about on the limit of what is legal. Bring the car back to the right for the Vale. Look for the arrow board on the right, onto the brakes. Down to second gear, roll the car in super tight to the apex, keeping it as left as possible so we can open up the right hander. Flat through the right, take as much of the curb as you can. Out to the left, do not run onto the curb on the left hand side, it will unbalance the car, but easy flat through the right hand kink, just be mindful of the track limits once again on the exit. There we are, perfectly legal on the exit of that corner. Heading down towards Abbey, this corner we need to remove the brake, we need to get to a point where we're just having a lift off the gas pedal, out to the left, lift, turn in, carry the speed through. Small brake there from Gordy from the race run, but we can do it with just a lift on good tyres. Flat through the left of Farm. Over to the left hand side now, looking for the curb on the left hand side, hard onto the brakes, would come down to second gear for the first hairpin, carry the speed in, staying on the brakes, off the brakes, full power, bring the car 2/3 max way across the track before getting tight into that apex. Wait with the power and then drill it hard to get a good exit, which will take us down the long Wellington straight. This little left kink, it's easy flat in the wet or the dry, we'll let the car run all the way out to the right hand side. Again, taking that breather until we get to the bridge, having a good look in the mirrors. Now we're trying to spot our braking point. Start of the curb on the right hand side is a good starting point, about halfway between there and the arrow board. Once we hit the brakes, we're going to turn in on a diagonal line, looking towards our apex to get the car all the way over the inside curb before letting the car run out to the right. Use all the space, don't worry about getting back to the left, nice and straight on the brakes, down 1 gear. Let the car drift out a little bit and then turn it back in and tuck it into that apex. Get it nice and tight before getting on full power to get a good exit over the start finish line to start another lap of the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. So that gives us 2 good quality laps to look at through in the dry conditions. I'm going to run through 1 wet lap from Gordy's qualifying last year. So looking at Silverstone in the wet conditions, it's a very different circuit. We ride on board with Gordy, you'll be able to see him putting the amount of locking required. Onto the brakes, down 2 gears for Cox, turn in, once the car's turned, push the nose into the understeer. He chases that power on. Obviously he's finding it very tricky to keep the car between the white lines before bringing the car back to the right for Maggots and Beckett. He's going to take the same line on the way in the dry. We're going to use less curb, onto the brakes, down 1 gear, carry the speed through, push the nose, let the car use all the space, brake, down 1 more gear for the left-hander, push the nose. He's now going to aim to the right, run a little bit deeper to open it up, but he's using that understeer to keep the car nice and stable before chasing the power on. Through the left kink onto the hanger straight, he's absolutely flat, even taking a bit of a curve. As we head down the hanger straight now, all the way down, we're going to pass underneath the bridge on the hanger straight before bringing the car to the left-hand side. He's up to 6 gear, he's going to be onto the brakes and probably come down 1, 2, 3 gears for stow. He's going to run round the outside to the wet line before bringing it nice and tight in later on, using the understeer to keep the car stable. Bringing the car back to the right for the Vale, braking in the middle of the road with a little bit more grip before bringing it back to the right hand side to turn the car in. Again, super slow, push the nose, lift off, let the car push, keep pushing the nose. While the car is understeering, it cannot oversteer. Easy through the right hand side, a very small fail through the throttle pedal, almost flat through there, a little bit of oversteer on the exit, heading down past the wing pits now towards the Abbey. This time it will definitely be a brake and down 1 gear, up to 6, down 1, push the nose, use the outside line, let the car run all the way to the outside, through the fast left kink now, farm absolutely flat out still on the wet tyre, before bringing the car back to the left, onto the brakes, down 1, 2, 1 more gear, no, kept it in second gear there, round the right hander, bringing it back to the right, down to 2nd gear now for the second part of the hairpin, so he's taking the 3rd one in first, and the 2nd one in second. Up to 3rd very quickly on the exit, as you can see absolutely flat out through the kink onto the Wellington straight, heading down now the back straight, having a good look in the mirrors, making sure it's around you, and having a little breather once again. We pass the bridge halfway down the back straight, looking for the start of the curve on the right hand side, onto the brakes, we're down to 3rd gear, 5th, 4th, 3rd, rolling the speed in, again on the dry line, we're going to push the nose through the apex, let the car run all the way out, nice and straight, we're going to brake and run very deep into Luffield, almost to the extreme wide line, let the car turn in and then get good full power exit nice and early. A little bit of oversteer on the exit and heading over the start finish line, easy flat through Woodcott on the wet tyre. The big thing to remember is in the wet, while the car is understeering, it cannot oversteer. You can see just how much full throttle Gordy still manages to use even in the wet conditions. Good luck, I'll see you Friday.